Ah, there you go. All right, episode Nintendo 64 of Inside the Rapper Studio. Today we're gonna have JaySwann on. What's going on, Tev? Talking about a few things such as his latest project, Houseplants. Pretty excited to talk about it because it's somewhat of different, like, genres and stuff, and I feel like that's kind of important for us to do within Inside the Rapper Studio. 'Cause it's not just rap, and it's not just rap music that exists within Baltimore, especially black music in Baltimore. So this one should be a kicker. Going to send the invite right now. Hopefully everybody's having a solid week. I mean, it's the day before Friday, and tomorrow seems like a pretty busy day for everybody. So that should be rocking and rolling. Still doing giveaways. Tomorrow we are going to have the final password for the hat giveaway and the robe giveaway. So first person gets the robe, second person gets the hat. Swan, you can go ahead and join in for real. Just nothing crazy. Let's see. Can you hear me?
Yo, I can hear you. What's good?
Okie doke, let's get it cracking.
What's up?
Episode 4 of Inside the Studio. Of course, I'm your host, Score F. Swayze, and today we have a very special guest in the building. He's DJ extraordinaire, producer extraordinaire, rapper extraordinaire. I'm pretty sure he's pretty good with planting, doing plants as well. Otherwise, he would named the project Houseplants. But we'll get to that. So, everybody drop hearts, drop likes, drop comments for the one, the only JaySwann.
Yo, what's good?
How's it going?
Thanks for having me on. It's actually funny you said that because, like, so the little plant that I use for, like, the little rollout and shit that's, like, on my cover, that joint actually died, bro. I'm sorry. I tried.
I wish I had like some disappointing like sound effects to play, but so I really just gotta sit with this shit right now, man. That kind of dampened the mood for this entire.
I'm sorry, bro. It's only up from here. It's only up from here. I promise.
I would fucking hope so. So with every episode of Inside the Rapper Studio, there's the origin story told from the bottom of the screen. So could you tell us all how you got started musically as the artist known as JaySwann?
Sure. How did I get started? I think I started making music. I think I started making music seriously when I was in like 2015. I don't know. I feel like I just woke up one day and I was like, I need to do music or like I'm not going to be satisfied with my life. But like at the same time, I knew that I loved music, but I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. I think I kind of fell in love with music in like 2013, and that's from there I kind of decided that's what I wanted to do. But I was like, I don't really know, so I was just like, I'm a huge Kanye fan. Like Kanye West, like, and like has a whole lot of influence over me. And I know, like, everybody know the meme where it's like he was making beats he was making like 5 beats a day for like 5 summers. So I was like, shit, let me just try making beats and see where that go. And I feel like that's where shit started, and now I'm here.
Got you. Do you feel that kind of like structure that most producers go through, especially as a, I guess, influential producers such as Kanye doing the 5 beats a day for 5 summers kind of situation? Do you feel as though it kind of like sharpened your sword, so to speak?
I would say so. It really took me a minute to actually get nice with music. Like, I mean, this is probably the case for everybody, but when I first started making beats, like, I was ass. I didn't know what I was doing. I barely knew how to use Logic. I was just watching YouTube videos and just failing pretty much. But, I mean, that's really, when it comes to producing, that shit just takes patience and time. But if you stick with it, you kind of start to figure it out, and you kind of figure out what you like and what you don't like and how you want to work and things like that.
Speaking of producing with Logic, recently had someone, actually the guest yesterday, Nandagi, she uses Logic as well, and I wanted to kind of get your perspective on using a DAW such as that? Because most of the time it's really either FL Studio, gang gang, or
where essentially every DAW does the same thing, but they all work differently. So I think when I first tried to make beats, I actually first tried it on FL, but I opened up FL and I was like, yo, what am I looking at? Like, this makes no sense to me. Like, that shit look like a different language, bro. I still don't know how people use FL. But
he's about to get real slanderous on this
really?
episode.
No. FL is a fine program. Like I said, everything works for everybody. Personally, I can't use FL, but if you do, more power to you. Logic, I have a love-hate relationship with Logic because of Logic. You kind of have to like customize every little thing in order to like make shit work the way you need it to. And it's time consuming and it does kind of add more to your workflow. But at the same time, I do like it more because of that. Because it's like you play a note in and it's just like, okay, you have to quantize it and then you have to choose the velocity. You got to choose like how hard or how soft you like want it to hit. And I feel like because of that, it allows you to use more of your creativity, but it I don't know, it also allows you to like when you get to your final product, whatever you make, it sounds more unique because it's like you went in and you changed like every little pattern and every little like note and shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've recently heard that Logic was more so user friendly than FL. Would you agree? I automatically disagree, to be completely honest with you. But do you yourself, do you agree that it's more
It's more user friendly? I don't know enough about FL, but what I do know about FL is there's more automation and there's more sequencing. And for that reason alone, I would probably say that FL is more user friendly than Logic.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But like when it comes to mixing, because like I'm also a mix engineer as well. And I hate mixing in Logic. Like it's cool, I can do it, but I'd really rather not because I don't like the whole process and I don't like how they do automation. Like the way automation is in Logic, you kind of have to do it the way like niggas was doing it in like the 90s and like early 2000s. And it's like I can't, that shit make me work too slow. So I actually like using Pro Tools when it comes to mixing, but for producing, it kind of flip flops because like producing in Pro Tools is like just stupid.
Got you. See, we already got FL gang in this bill.
Yeah,
Well,
I see it. I salute it. But I also noticed different patterns with people that use Logic and people that use FL. Like you can kind of hear some similarities a little bit. Like I know a lot of like dudes that produce more trap shit, they use FL. But I know like a lot of people that kind of do like kind of shit that's a little more left like me, they use Logic. But listen, what matters is how you actually use it at the end of the day. It don't matter how many plugins you use. It don't matter what software you're using. It's if you can use what you're given. That's really what it all boils down to.
Absolutely. So the project that I wanted to talk about throughout this entire interview is the project that you most recently dropped, which is called Houseplants, which is really goddamn good. And honestly, I to even talk about this kind of thing because it's rare for, I suppose, Baltimore artists to make this kind of genre, that be in this kind of lane, and make this kind of genre and have this kind of vibe with the music. So could you tell us how you came up with the concept of Houseplants, execution of the project?
With houseplants, I don't know. Recently, I kind of just fell in love with house music. Well, I've always like really been into house, but recently it's kind of just like just kind of taking like full control. Like, and for a while, I was kind of stuck in a rut where it was like I was making shit, but I wasn't really into what I was making. And also at the end of last year, my hard drive crashed.
Ooh.
So with my hard drive crashing, I lost every beat I made from like 2015 to like December of last year. So I basically had to start all the way over, bro. And like I was hurt. I won't even lie. Like I was low. That shit really hurt me. But I don't know, something beautiful came out of it, I guess, because I dropped a project in 2018 called Rinks, and that was cool. but that was way different from Houseplants in the sense where like it was kind of just like some alternative, like I don't know. I guess it was like alternative. It was kind of like rap mixed with electronic, I guess. But my only gripe with that was just like, okay, if I make a new project, I want it to be a little more upbeat. But like, I don't really make like trap shit, and like that's not to take away like from trap at all, because like I fuck with Lucky Key, like all types of shit, Soda, all types of shit. But in terms of what I make, I don't normally make trap, so it's just like okay, another way you could kind of go about like make some more upbeat shit is just like make a house. So I kind of decided to experiment with that, and honestly, I haven't had more fun making music than I have than like since I started making house music.
That's really good to know, man.
Yeah, thanks.
The one thing that really puts a smile on my face is when fellow musicians have that time of like, I started really having fun making music because the shit feels like a job. It really does. Even like
Sometimes it does.
Sometimes it feels like a job, but once you reap the benefits of it, it no longer feels like labor. So, where did you get the name Houseplants from?
So when I was making Houseplant, so first of all, it is kind of a play on like the term house. Yeah, but also when I was making Houseplants, to me, it kind of sounds like music that you would clean your crib to. And that's kind of where like I don't know, like a houseplant is kind of just like it's. I don't know. I also have a houseplant too right here.
Does it have?
That's something, but I don't know. I feel like just when it comes to houseplants, there's kind of like a certain like it adds kind of like a vibe to your environment, and that's what I wanted houseplants to capture. Like it's like when you like have like a plant in your crib, it kind of just adds like I don't know. It just looks cool to me, and I feel like there's a certain kind of like theme associated with like having plants in your crib. And I thought it was a little synonymous with the music that was on the project that I was coming out with. So in my head, it all just kind of worked. Like when it comes to concepts, everything kind of just coming to me out of nowhere. Like I really like rarely ever actually plan shit out. I kind of just one day it'll just strike me and I just act on it.
I like that. Cause
yeah, thanks.
As a person that's like super structured myself, and to hear someone like on the opposite end, like you think of it, is like, oh, okay, let's make it. It actually brings me hope that like there are multiple ways to create not just music but projects. So the first time I talked to you about within the project is a name that legit like sticks out. It's Black Balvin Harris. I need a story about the song. I need a story about this title because.
What's funny is it's actually supposed to be called Black Calvin Harris, but like I put it through DistroKid and it was like, nah. Like for some reason they have this thing where it's like you can't name a song after another artist. So it kind of just came to be Black Calvin Harris. But I don't know, that whole song, it's different from the rest of Houseplants. And it's actually funny you bring it up because that's probably my least favorite song on the project. But at the same time, it sounds like an intro song. And that's why it's like the first song to like kick it off with. Like it sounds like that's the beginning of some shit. But yeah, I was just I don't know. When I first made it, I was like, this song's some Calvin Harris shit. So I was just like Black Calvin Harris, but I couldn't call it Calvin.
Do you think DistroKid kind of threw you a lob with a great name like Black Balvin Harris was canceling out the Calvin Harris part?
Now I actually kind of like the Balvin more. And more people have said that too. Like, cause I tell people that story, and they were just like, "Nah, like the Black Balvin Harris is way harder." And I was like, "I mean, yeah, y'all kind of right."
Have you been approached by any gang members for this title of the song?
Not yet, but I haven't been outside. So maybe when shit open up, niggas might press me. We gonna play it by ear.
All right, I mean, I doubt that you'll have to do the name change or anything like that because I'm pretty sure, like, even if they do listen to this, they'll probably like change their mind. All right, Bob, I can't.
Yeah, I'm a pretty cool guy. Like when you get to know me, it's like you don't want to fight me.
I mean, you're surprised. Like some people fight for no reason.
That is true. I'm also good at diffusing situations, so maybe I'll just be like, "Hey, y'all." Niggas gonna hear the song and be like, you know what, I was tripping. I don't want to fight JaySwann.
We appreciate avoiding conflict around here.
I'm a Leo, bro. It's kind of just, I ain't got no choice.
What day?
August 6th.
Big Lines in the building. August 15th.
Yes, sir. What day are you?
You can ignore this little water shit that's going on right now with the crabs and stuff, because after this, that's when the real niggas come up.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about it. Wait, what day is your birthday? Can you hear me?
But that'll be neither here from there, because like honestly, like I think when it comes to the whole like watery seasons and shit, retrograde stuff, real shit really pop off till like July, August. So I mean, they won't even know that we doing Friday.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
That's what I appreciate about like Leo season. But the song that was just playing for those that's just walking in, the song that was just playing was Black South Paris, the intro track off of House Plant. The most recent project dropped from episode 64's most wonderful guest, JaySwann. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
Today.
Appreciate that.
Give a few shout outs to some folks that's in here. Huge shouts out to 91 Derby. Huge shouts out to Turfland. Turfland is always in the building. Who else we got in here? L Busy, Title the King. We got Joey Bricks up in here. Got Arnold Butler.
I was about to say shout out to Terry. I was just with her before this live.
Man, I would have appreciated a little guest, little side thing. Like, I always love when people are also in the live, like on the other side, and I feel like I can like draw them in for questions too, so I can ease the workload and shit like that. But that's just me being a viewer. So, huge shouts out to Dustin Horse. Huge shouts out to Kevin E. Washington. So, Mr. Swan.
Yes, sir.
Also wanted to talk to you about within this interview is DJ life.
Okay.
Not only you are an artist, not only you are a producer, you are on the ones and twos. So tell us how you got started as a DJ.
It's funny because I actually started DJing on accident. Like my man's, he was putting together a show, and we were all in a group. This is when like I very first got on the scene. So he was putting on the show, and he needed a DJ, and like he came to me because it's like I'm just like a technical nigga, I guess, because like I was a producer, and then like at the time I just got out of audio engineering. Well, I went to school for audio engineering, so like at the time he was having the show, I had just finished. So it's like I kind of just knew technical shit, and I just like had a good taste in music. So he hit me up to DJ, and I was just like, I'm gonna just try this shit out. But it just ended up being something that I stuck with. Like the first set was kind of rough. Like if anything, I kind of just made a playlist. But after that show, I started like researching more. I actually like bought a board and then like got more and more into it. And as I got more into it, I was like, oh, this is actually like mad fun. And like it's a like an extra way to make some money and shit. So I was just like, let's just do it.
Absolutely. I also wanted to talk to you about in terms of the DJ life is residencies, being as though that like a lot of the times with DJs, the most of the times when they do make money, it's off of residencies, like staying at a place and being very consistent with like clientele and the venue. So how is it working residencies for you?
Before quarantine, I had one actual residency at Dovecote for a month where it was like I was playing music every Sunday, and that was pretty cool. It was every Saturday and Sunday for the whole month of like June or July or something last year, and that was mad cool. Right before quarantine, I was actually setting up not a warranty, I'm tripping. A residency at Lamondo, but COVID came, it was just like, fuck you, Jay, you're not doing none of that. So now we're here. Now that would have been cool. Cause in addition to like making money from it, it would also just be mad cool. Like, I don't know, DJing is just fun, and it's even more fun when you just get to play like whatever you want. Like it's just like, all right, we're just gonna give you an hour, and it's like you just do you. Like it's cool. You can kind of experiment with shit, see like what works with people and what doesn't. Yeah, it's fun.
How is it having a skill set such as DJing in your repertoire as a musician, and not just as a musician in a black Baltimore where DJs are pretty much valuable Everybody
Yeah.
needs a DJ for a party. Everybody needs a event. And DJ for something. So
Mm-hmm.
to have that value in your pocket, how does it feel as a musician?
It's good, honestly, because like you said, everybody always needs a DJ. So I like the fact that like as like a part of my music career, like I do a bunch of shit. Like I can engineer and I do DJ, but it's super valuable. And not only that, but I've met a lot of people. Like I've been introduced to a lot of people that I wouldn't have met if I wasn't DJing before. So and it's given me a lot of opportunities as well. So I'm very grateful for it.
Gotcha. Last
Yeah.
question I had in terms of the whole DJ life thing is quarantine fucking niggas funny up. So when it comes to COVID-19 shutting down venues and stuff, a lot of you will see online is people pretty much resorting to virtual DJing, whereas though they were going live, spend for an hour, come in, or even going on Zoom and having
Mhm.
fans and things like that. How would you say have you been transitioning through this new phase in music?
Honestly, it's kind of gone seamlessly for me because it's like if I can't DJ, like I still have other shit that I can do. So when the quarantine started, I really was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna just make some music. And even outside of that, it's like I've still had people who like need their songs mixed, or just recently I've been having more and more people like recorded with me and shit just because niggas decided quarantine is over now. So it was just like, all right, I'm going back to the studio. Fuck this shit. So it all still kind of worked. It didn't fuck my money up too much because like I feel like anything I was making off DJing was kind of extra. But like I was kind of doing all right. If anything, I feel like quarantine gave me more just gave me more time to focus on like producing and shit, which is really like my first love.
I can appreciate
So
it.
yeah, it kind of worked out for real.
That's
Like
what's
I think like the DJing on Live Wave was cool. I never did it just because like that shit was just a little weird to me. Like I feel like I can't see like niggas dancing. I can't see if like niggas are actually fucking with like what I'm playing. And it was just like I don't know. It's just like I could do it, but like I'd rather just go make beats.
the only thing you would see is the heart thing explode from time.
Exactly, yeah.
That's
And it's
the
just
only proud reaction that you will ever get from a lot.
hell
I'm
yeah, and it's just like, all right, cool. I'm glad y'all fucked with that part, but it's like overall, I don't know.
Next song I want to talk to you about that comes from House Plants is right after Black Calvin Harris, actually, which is Party in Your Mouth.
Yep.
So, what the hell does this song mean?
uh, one thing about Houseplants is I wanted all the song titles to be kind of weird. Like I wanted them to stand out. So, how did I come up with Party in Your Mouth? Honestly, I don't even know if I have a full story. I think like it just sounds like a party song to me, and I just wanted to do some weird shit. So I was just like, all right, it sounds like a party in your mouth.
You nailed
It
the word.
also could be an innuendo. I don't know yet.
I mean, if it's an innuendo, it works anyway because people use innuendos, and that's money as it is. But
Yep.
one thing I can definitely say about this song, Party in Your Mouth, is something that I say all the time is that this is placement city. I can legitimately hear this anywhere on any like anywhere.
That's what's up.
Do you usually aim for like getting placements everywhere, or do you let the music flow as it is and let the buses come down?
I didn't try to start getting placements until this year because I realized that's people kind of react to that more. So yeah, that was definitely a recent thing. But I don't know. Also, like I feel like before I was making music that was good, but you couldn't play it in all settings. Like for the most part, niggas would just tell me that it's like, oh, I could like smoke to your music, or it's like, oh, I could trip to your music. But like that was kind of it. But with this project, it's like you can kind of play it like whenever, really. And that's what I wanted.
That's very true. Like it's one of
Yeah.
those that like it blends everywhere. Like I have this playlist on my title thing called Red Room Music, which is like music that you would hear in the Red Room, and
Okay.
and
Shout out
like
the crowd.
like this kind of blends everywhere. This goes in my like LaDon Black playlist. This goes in my like Silver Shadows playlist. Like
I
heavy
fuck with that.
kind of transcends playlist, if that makes sense. Is that something you aim for? Or is that just something that usually just like sticks to landing all the time?
It wasn't the main focus, but it was definitely something I wanted to keep in mind. Especially with like Party in Your Mouth. I had a feeling that would be the one, because like based on people I've talked to, like that's the song from Houseplants that everybody gravitates towards. I had a feeling it would either be that one or Everything You Do. But like I said, the end goal is to just make some shit that's different, that's also hard. But it's like if I could also get on some placements, that would be wonderful too. Because niggas need them streams. I need stream money.
Money.
Yeah. Even though it's like you make like pennies off of streams, it's like, yo, let me get as many of these shits as I can.
Right. If there's any placement that you would want to have from any company, any brand, whatever the case may be, what would it be and why?
Definitely Adult Swim. That's like my ultimate goal. Is like I'm trying to get to the Adult Swim bag for sure. Because I think like all the music that I like to make, in my opinion, is kind of weird, but like it's cool and it kind of has a certain like vibe to it. And I think like the shit that I make is right up the alley with Adult Swim. So I feel like I could, like, shit would go hand in hand. Like I really feel like I'm one right person away from hearing my music to like just being like right there.
Damn.
But I would say that.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to campaign for that shit for you. Like,
please.
Completely self and this whole like campaign is like, I got my own thing going on, but this shit right here needs to go on something like Adult Swim.
Hey, listen, if you know somebody, please let me know.
Oh,
yeah, well, that's definitely, I don't know. I don't know who got an Adult Swim plug, but shit, I'm trying to find out.
Find out they fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
But
they gonna hear my shit eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, that shit.
Mm-hmm.
The song that was just playing for those that's just strolling in, the song that was recently just playing was Party in Your Mouth. The second track off of the new project, Houseplants, from our wonderful guest of episode 64 of Inside the Rapper Studio, JaySwann. Thank you very much for joining me and answering these in your business.
Yeah, bro, this is fun.
Don't sweat it, man. Give shouts out to everybody else who's rolling in. Huge shouts out to Who's Ailing. Huge shouts out to Only Vibes. We got Kayla Kamara. I hate
Kayla Kamara.
I don't pronounce shit right at all. For a person whose first name is Talib, which is very un-American, I don't pronounce a goddamn thing right.
Wait, what's your first name?
Talib, like Talib Kweli.
Is it spelled the same?
No, it has a U in there because my mom was like,
"Oh shit."
I don't know.
Nah, she freaked it.
It's not a story worth explaining on live. What else we got in here? We got Jew Wonton Soup. We got Mr. Girl You Crazy.
That's my guy. Shout out my man JaySwann.
Two folks in here. Okay.
Girl You Crazy. What's up, Kyle? Oh, I just peeped your comment too.
Love it. Oh, Bailey's in here too.
Bailey, hey.
Bailey. All right. Next thing I wanted to talk to you about within this interview is Skin Noir Records.
Okay.
It's the project. The project Houseplants is released through Skin Noir Records.
Yes,
so
sir.
I wanted to find out how you got connected within this group and how is it working within pretty much the means of this record company.
So Skin Noir Records is actually a record label that I started myself. Yes.
Black businessman, we love to see it.
Trying to get to it, bro. Try and get to it. It's just, my thing is like, at the end of the day, I love the fuck out of music. So it's like, whatever I can do to benefit, that's what I want to do. So eventually, like, I do want to have something set up where it's like I'm signing artists and I'm like, scouting for like talent and shit like that. But my main thing is just like, I just want to do whatever I can to just further the music industry and like actually make that shit so it's like not the devil. Because it's like the thing about the music industry, it's fucked up, but it's like they stay profiting off of black people, but like they treat the artists like shit. So I just I feel like anything that I can do, I want to do. So whether it's like, giving people advice, sharing knowledge that I have, giving people more, giving people opportunities, like I want to do that. And it's not something that may happen overnight, but it's something that I know like over time is going to happen. Like that's one of my career goals is to just have like a fully functioning like recording label, and that's like my whole thing. I'm big on being independent, and yeah, that's just where I'm coming with it. But that's Skin Noir Records is basically, it's an extension of myself, but I want Skin Noir to be less focused on JaySwann and more people that are like in my network or people that I can reach out to.
I just love when I can talk all socially when it comes to music and stuff.
Yeah, let's get into it.
Because like it's one of those things that artists, especially rappers, especially like black artists, we don't really talk about how much the system fucks us. So like when it comes to pretty much the independent scene and really building around just like not just having a label such as Skin Noir Records, but just having that community within Skin Noir Records. How is the community? How is the camaraderie within the company?
First of all, I want to shout you out for actually pronouncing that shit right. Because
Skin Noir Records, right?
That's it. But you'd be surprised. Like the word noir be kicking people ass.
I took French for 3 years, so noir ain't shit to me. Like
that's the easy one. It's 4 letters. Yeah, but my fault. What's the question again?
It's 4 letters, 2 vowels. None of the vowels.
It's simple.
Like, how is the
it's nothing
camaraderie amongst?
No
I'm sorry, but how is it? Pretty much the camaraderie amongst but how is the camaraderie amongst the people that's in Skin Noir Records?
So for right now, I haven't full right now. It's just it's just the base, but I've been in some, and I've only been making music for 5 years, but I've been in situations where it's like I've been in collectives and I've been in groups, and shit just didn't work out because not everybody was on the same page, and a lot of people just didn't have the same intentions. So I feel like as for right now, I want to do the research. That way I know what I'm doing without sounding like an idiot, basically. And I'm a perfectionist. So it's like anytime I execute anything, it has to be like exactly how I need it to be, or I'm not going to be happy with it. So with Skin Noir, I have like major intentions for this shit. But in order to get there, I need to do the research first. So that's kind of what it is. And I guess you could say like, my friends and shit is like associated. But as far as like having an artist under the umbrella, as for right now, it's only me. But that's going to change soon.
That's good. That's good. Because I think I like the idea of a company building with a very small, I don't want to say very small, like workforce or task.
Exactly. For the time being, I kind of see like for like present day, I kind of see Skin Noir less as the actual label and more so as an outlet. If that makes any type of sense. But eventually it's going to go from an outlet to a full-fledged record label.
Could you explain it to the people that kind of can't connect 1 and 2 together?
Yeah, so basically it's like, I think I'm using the word label. Thank you. I'm using the word label because like ultimately that's what it's going to be. But Skin Noir is going to be way more than a label. Like I want it to, I want to like eventually be able to like teach classes on like mixing, like get tutorials on like production, like, just like scouting, giving people like basically just sharing what I know and my talents with other people. And I also think that there aren't enough Black people in higher up positions in music. And that's something that I'm striving to change.
That's something the crowd even has to agree with, honestly.
Definitely.
The next song I wanted to talk to you about within this interview, I'm sorry for moving the camera around a bit. Like, I have to, like, keep this phone cooled down before.
You straight? You good?
IG,
I get
Next song
it.
I want to talk to you about within this project is "Things Are Constantly Happening." What is this song about, and what inspires you to title it "Things Are Constantly Happening"?
That just go back to what I said earlier. Like I wanted all of the song names to kind of just have weird titles, and that song "Things Are Constantly Happening." Like shit is just constantly happening. Just like in life, like things just don't stop happening, no matter what. It's not really. I guess it's not really about anything. It's just like
It is what it
it
is.
started off. Yeah, with that track, it's like it just started off, and it's just like okay, like the way I produce sometimes. I have a weird structure where it's like I don't like arranging my beats, so it's like verse hook verse hook verse. I kind of just like to keep adding shit, and then like I'll have sections where like something may drop out or something may come in, but I like for it to like keep changing and changing. Like I don't know, to me it catches your ear more and it just sounds more interesting. Because sometimes like if a nigga just like makes a loop, that shit can get kind of boring. So yeah.
Speaking of people sending you loops, uh, did you have any collaborative efforts within this project?
My man's Nigel. That was probably the only collab that I had. He's Nigel Noel. He's a fucking one of the most talented people I've ever met. He sings, he raps a little bit, but he mostly sings. But that man's music is crazy. Um, if I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to get more features, but this was at like peak quarantine. So it was just like if I wanted to reach out to people, it would have taken me longer to put it out. And like I would have had to play the waiting game. And I was kind of impatient because right before the lead up to dropping Houseplants, like I was just like, yo, I just want to drop something like right now. So with Nigel, he's somebody that that's really just in my corner. And with that beat that he's on, Hellcat, I was just like, yo, he's the only person who could actually do this shit justice. Like I couldn't even hear anybody on here but Nigel. But yeah, that's my fucking brother. He's working on the album too. I'm executive producing it. So that mainly entails that I'm mixing and mastering it. But I also have 3 beats on that album. But yeah, I'm just bigging up my man's right now. He's sick. Nigel's great. He got some me and him both got some good things on the way.
That's good, man. Big placements, big moves,
You
big
know, you know.
anything that you get from JaySwann is what the fuck you're gonna get. That's what you love to see. With this song, I hear a lot of influence, a lot like from different artists. Actually, um, do you take a lot of influence from Tory Marshall?
I do. All right, next to Kanye. All right, so here's the thing. I think Kanye West is the reason why I started making music. But as far as like the shit that I make, Toro is a huge influence. Like I'm like the biggest Tory Ma fan like ever, bro. Like that's my nigga. I got like all of his albums on vinyl. Like I'm the super fan. But yeah, he definitely got a big influence. I would say Channel Trace too. He's dope. A lot of people don't know about him, but he's cool because he makes house music, but he's also black, and it's just like I feel represented, and I'm like also his music is just hard. So yeah, I feel like definitely Toro, definitely Chano Trace, and probably a little bit of Ross from Friends too. He's just like another house dude. But Tory Ma is a huge influence, huge, huge. It's funny that you picked up on that because he's major to me.
Like I have an ear for certain things, and I just heard like the way it was bumping, and then I heard Pharrell. I was gonna say yeah, maybe some Pharrell, but Pharrell's way like on the nose. It's really Toro off of like I'm saying the method that's used within making the beat.
Definitely Toro. You hit that. You hit that right on the head.
Gotcha. So
Definitely.
for those just walking in, the song that was recently playing was "Things Are Constantly Happening." The song off of the most latest project, Houseplants, from episode 64. God, for a long time.
That's a lot of episodes, bro.
Episode 64 of Inside the Rapper Studio, JaySwann. Once
Yeah.
again, very much for
And that album is out everywhere.
allow me to be all up in your business with these questions.
Please.
I'm gonna give a few more shouts out. Huge shouts out to Div Blumheron. I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That's my guy. He make dope artwork.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Huge shouts out to Pout Belly Lay. Fishy Spices in the building. Who else we got in here? Of course Bailey. Of course Turfland. Of course LB. You know, The regular crew. It's inside nobody else is in here but us. So, one of the last topics I wanted to talk to you about is not just house music, but dance music in general when it comes to Baltimore. Uh, Being as though we have very rich history when it comes to dance music, and
Yep.
this not just with club music, and I think club music, as underrated as it is, what we really don't get credit for is the production side for a lot of songs. Most people don't know that one of the biggest dance songs, Gypsy Woman, by Crystal Waters, was produced in Baltimore. And like
I
having
didn't know that.
yeah,
Wow, I did not. That's fascinating. That's like one of the greatest songs like ever made.
yeah, like and it's sampled so many times. Even like Streets of Rage sampled it. Like Streets of
Yep.
Rage, Vega, they sampled it, and that came from Baltimore.
I
So
did not know that. That's crazy.
So to have that rich history set within the city and continue in making this genre, do you feel as though you're already setting up for like the next generation for dance music within the city?
I can't take credit for that myself, but I do think that I am a contributor. Uh, I think I've noticed recently that house is becoming more and more prevalent. Like way more people are starting to fuck with house now, and I love that because it gets overlooked. But like house music is we made house. I mean, granted, black people made basically everything, but yeah, but like that shit, like I don't know, it gets kind of associated with like white people, but it's like yo, like we invented that shit. But especially in Baltimore though, like I think people nationwide, a lot of people try to give like more credit to Jersey and shit, but it's like, come on, yo, like we know we originated that shit, but like I don't know, niggas steal shit from Baltimore all the time, and we never get credit for it. But it is what it is. I think things are starting to change right now,
Uh,
but
no, but
uh, oh no, but as far as going into the future, there's definitely a shift because more people are trying to, well, not trying, but more people are making more different music. And I think like with that, a lot of people are kind of gravitating towards dance. Like I think I'm hearing more songs with people rapping over dance tracks, and I love that shit.
mm,
Yeah, but
that's
it's
it.
like if I can play some kind of hand in that, like I'm totally cool with that because I love house and that shit is magical. And just like dance in general, like not even just house.
Do you think that's more of an influence on like Baltimore club music? Because like you had your Rod Lees, you had your Miss Tonys that rap over like club music and stuff like that.
Mm.
So having that happen, do you feel as though that's more so like a Baltimore influence as well?
In terms of my art or like in terms of like everyone.
Everyone, in terms of just rapping over like club beats and things like that.
It definitely plays a hand. I think everyone kind of based on like the region that you're in, a lot of like local artists kind of gravitate towards that. So it's like because we have club shit, more people are starting to kind of go towards it, I think. And it's also like it's now starting to get more popular. I mean, it was popular, but I think like now more people are starting to accept it.
Gotcha, gotcha.
If that
So
makes sense.
the last song I actually wanted to play within this interview is a song that's popping right now. It's a song that has a video, and it's a song that has a feature on it, which
Yep.
tell us how it is working with a song like this with other artists.
Uh that beat was fucking crazy, yo. Like I don't even it's funny because I didn't even like that beat at first. Like I made that beat a while ago, and then I came back to it. I was like, "Oh no, I was tripping. This shit is hard." But with he said, "How is it?" I don't know. I think that beat was kind of tricky because it was like I wanted to have a feature on it, but I couldn't hear too many people on that song. So that's kind of why I hit up Nigel first, and it just like he just swagged that shit out. That shit worked perfect. But with Hellcat, I didn't know how that song was going to be received because that song is more techno than it is like house. So I was just like, it is good, but I know like not everybody. I know not everybody will like it, but I know a certain group will like it, and it'll work. But I mean, in reality, like a lot of people like that song. Like a lot of people, yeah, a lot of people fuck with it. And yeah, I was just like, it's like some weird like techno shit, but it works. You know?
Have, have you spun this song before, like in some type of like virtual DJ situation?
That song, no. I want to so bad, but I think in order to really get the desired effect, I got to get creative and like putting that into a set. But I'm gonna do it one day. I think I did DJ. I did like kind of like a live. My friend, she was curating. It's actually a long story, bro. It's kind of complicated. But I was basically DJing for like this like virtual event she was having, and I played Everything You Do in that. But that was the only song I played from Houseplants. I think yeah. Once everything opened back up and shit, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. But I'm gonna do it somehow. It
Gotcha.
depends on the crowd. It depends on the crowd. It depends on where I'm playing at. And low key, it might depend on what time. Like if I'm at the Crown and I'm on at like 12:10 and niggas is drunk, it might work.
Oh
It
yeah,
might work.
you on. Depending on the room, this go on in the red room, and the Micah kids in there, they getting
it's going up. It's going up.
the only place it's going.
That ass.
Do you feel as though like having like that diverse sound within the project Houseplants is valuable to have like spinning in either like party or any like vicinity?
What you mean?
In terms of like having a track that's like super techno, a very laid back track such as like Things Are Constantly Happening, do you feel as though having those tracks kind of add value to Houseplants, to the diversity of it?
I do. Because I think with Hellcat, it kind of makes it so that like there's a song on there for everybody. And like although like Hellcat is super left, like it man, I lost my train of thought. But I certainly would say that it helps because every song, all the songs sound similar to some extent, but they all also kind of have their own distinct flavor at the same time. And I think that helps in terms of like reaching to a broader audience because it's like people will hear one thing and they'll just album. Oh shit, it's loading. Did you hear me? Hello? What's going on? You can't hear me? I can't hear you.